Do you want to meet me in the bar? Do you want to meet me in the club? Do you want to meet me in the lounge? Do you want to meet me downtown? Do you want to meet me in the east? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the west? Yeah. Do you want to meet me on the block? Yeah. Do you want to meet me on the spot? Okay. Do you want to meet me downtown? Do you want to meet me in the east? Do you want to meet me in the west? Do you want to meet me on the block? Do you want to meet me on the spot? Okay. Do you want to meet me in the bar? Do you want yeah. Do you want to meet me in the club? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the lounge? Yeah. Do you want to meet me downtown? Okay. 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 Do you want to meet me in the bar? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the lounge? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the club? Yeah. Do you want to meet me downtown? Okay. Okay. Do you want to meet me like a pig? Do you want to meet me on my rig? Vroom. Do you want to meet me in the lot? Do you want to meet me on the spot? Okay. Do you want to meet me on a farm? Yeah. Do you want to meet me on Harn? That's an RPG world. Do you want to meet me on Harn? Yeah. Do you want to go outside and LARP? Yeah. Do you want to play the harp? Okay. Do you want to be on YouTube? Yeah. Do you want to be on my boob? Yeah. Do you want to be in my shoe? Yeah. Do you want to make it all true? Okay. Do you want to meet me in a bar? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in a lounge? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in a club? Yeah. Do you want to meet me downtown? Okay. Man, it just keeps going and going, and then you're like, why? Oh, there's a metal version of it. Yeah. 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 Okay. Hey everybody, just sharpening my pencil, drinking my coffee, and removing my pants. Get them jammies on. Hit mute on Robotech. And put away the, got a little WD-40 on this chair here. And then I gotta say, do you want to meet me on a bar? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the east? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in the west? Yeah. Do you want to meet me on my butt? Do you like my gorilla chest? Okay. All right, well, that's probably about enough of that. We're getting started a little early here because it's Saturday morning, and why the hell not? We're just trying to live. We're just trying to live, Rambo. I just want to live, Rambo. I just want to be somebody. I may be unskilled, but I am somebody. I may be unemployed, but I am somebody. Do you want to meet me in the east? You know, that song is really fun for that little part. What the devil? What the? Hang on a second. Wow. My house is being attacked by squirrels. Good grief, did you hear that? We had a straight up dog flip out. Alright. Between music and dog flip outs, what am I actually doing? Oh, right. Bring up the old Photoshop. Okay, good morning, everybody. And greetings. Welcome back to Runehammer, your destination on the internet for low-grade beatboxing and Saturday morning drawing. So let's just dive right in here. We're going to get our brush. A lot of people ask me exactly what brushes I use, and for this type of drawing, for ICRPG type drawing, I just go, you can go to your presets and go all the way to the top, and it's literally the second preset. It's like the most default of defaults. And then go to your shape right here, tip shape, and then I just put a little squish on it like that. So that gives you a little bit of chiseling so that you get variation in line weight as your lines flow. And then make sure in shape dynamics you have pen pressure on size jitter right there. And then you also want to turn off everything else except smoothing. So you've got this really simple blob. You should see this. There should be no transparency. It's just a tapering blob, and the shape is squashed a little bit. That is it. There's very little settings or shenanigans to how I do this. I'm going to scoot over a little bit here so I can reach my canvas. We're just going to put a little bit of our Betty White on here, and then we're going to touch it up with a little bit of our yellow snow. Okay, so that's just the brush that I use, and today we are continuing the Ghost Mountain index card volume, or volume 4 of Index Card RPG. So for those of you who tuned in to the last drawing marathon, did more than 40 of these in one sitting, which is really an epic drawing session. Really, that's a lot of drawing. So we're going to continue and maybe even try to finish this weekend or so and get volume 4's completion and release to synchronize with the release of Index Card RPG 2nd edition. And yes, Matt Fontaine, welcome to the show. I had my 2 eggs and my piece of toast. I'm on coffee cup numero dos. And in my mind, I'm rocking out to the sick bass lines of today's most modern beats. Okay, so here's what your line is going to feel like. You're going to get this tapering line with a little bit of chisel to it. So I know a few cards that I want to do, but you guys know the fun of the show here is that you can hit me with card ideas as I'm working, and we can talk about all the best things in life and maybe get interrupted by dog tantrums. It's literally like a squirrel in the front yard and some like person taking their morning walk, and that's enough to make dogs go nuts. Okay, so I know that I wanted to do, no pun intended on wanted, but I wanted to do a wanted poster. So let's just get a little nail up there. There's a little wrinkle in the paper, right? Do you want to meet me in the bar? So then I wanted to just get this weight to be right, where there's this kind of nice heavy shadow underneath. And I know that a lot of you out there like to draw along with me on Saturday morning. So nice to have you. Good luck with your drawing project. Enjoy yourself. My theme today for my sort of my internal mantra, if you will, is sort of expanding on something that Will Smith was saying today, which is like, this sort of highest form of accepting and loving yourself is being disciplined in life. And I really liked what he said, that discipline as a word has kind of achieved a bum rap in recent times. It's kind of perceived as this kind of negative word, almost like a form of self-punishment. Like discipline's like bad. Discipline sounds kind of unpleasant, right? But I really agree with him that I think discipline is the route to sort of long-term fulfillment. I'm not sure if I agree that it's the route to happiness. But I do think that over time, like you will find yourself much more fulfilled if you find that place of discipline in your heart. I know it's all kind of cheesy, but these are things that I think about. Like, what is it? How can we be our best selves? I think about that kind of stuff all the time. Maybe it's just because of my background or my particular tastes or whatever, but it is a topic that kind of intrigues me over time.
So they're offering $5,000 to capture this guy. Now I wanted to kind of show you guys a quick little trick that I've been using a little more of recently. There's a little bit of background noise here, which is just flip over to white ink, and then you can sort of draw or paint in negative space like this. So you don't need to use an eraser. You can just, it's a little quicker just to use white paint, and then later you can just make this a multiplier layer if you're wanting to put it on like a paper texture or something like that. But yeah, I used to use eraser a lot more, but I find it really, really fast to just flip to white ink. And I know that, the eraser takes what, a few nanoseconds longer than just flipping to white, but those nanoseconds really count when I'm drawing. I like to just stay right here in the moment, so to speak. Stay in the flow where my hand is staying loose. And if I focus on my menus, even for a second longer than I really have to, I'll lose some of that magic. So now I'm just going to trim off the bottom here a little bit so I get a little more focus to the shape. And hey, good to have you, everybody. Nice to have everyone around for the show today. And happy Saturday to you. Happy Ishtar, which is coming up tomorrow. The great Babylonian and Hindu holiday of fertility. Really happy that time of year has come. Always good to have some renewal in life. I know some people are a little bit down on holidays, like they're kind of artificial or something. But it's just like a house party. It is what you make it. A house party, really, if you look at it, is just a bunch of people standing around in a living room drinking alcohol. But if you come to have a good time, you're going to have a good time. Same with the holidays. If you show up to have fun, you're going to have a good time. So do you want to meet me in a bar? Do you want to meet me in a club? Yeah. Hey, everybody. Oh, hey, there's the Desert King. Actually pondering some kind of a series coming up here where I want to either interview or pay tribute to or summarize or review great DMs that I've played with over the years. Cameron's pretty awesome. Although I've started wondering how much of our fate is our own. I think I'm kind of like the pain in the ass character in our group. It's like I want freedom. I want the world my way. But in our world, we're kind of not the coolest people. We're a little bit lower on the pole, and my character is struggling with that. Okay, so here's some details of who this nefarious character is, but we're not going to get into that. We just remember a big part of the index cards is to be used in story construction. So this is just a wanted poster. It's not wanted poster for XYZ character. It's just a wanted poster. So you could have a Western story where there's a wanted poster. Seems pretty common. A chocolate-filled day. Can you switch to a secondary color with the X key? Oh my God! Oh my God! Brian Smith, you are the man of the hour, sir. Look at that. I don't even have to look down now. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so there's our wanted poster. We're good to go there. Let's move on. What would you guys like to see next? So we're doing Ghost Mountain themed index cards, and we've already done almost 50. So if I say, hey, we already did that, don't be hurt. Don't be hurt. Just remember to, keep the love in your heart and keep on keeping on. Like we've already done, cactus and coffin and all this kind of stuff. No T-Rexes. Horse bear, I don't know what that is. We're not going to do a bunch of ridiculousness. I'm not. A haunted flask. I don't know if we've done whiskey quite yet. That's an interesting idea. A flask in general is a pretty interesting idea. So let's go ahead and do a flask with a skull on it. I could see a flask being key to a story. So just pulling some lines here and trying to get that basic squashed cylinder shape. Just like that. And you're often going to have an easy time if you think about darkness being on the bottom of things. I know that that's a very simplistic way to perceive and plan lighting. but generally in our world, light comes from above, even at night, and it can just often give a cue of space and dimension right away without having to wonder what you're doing. So if you just by default think about light from above, then every once in a while do light from below as a crazy flip, and then people are going to be like, what? It will take me time to learn that whole X key thing. I'm a very slow learner when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have such deeply ingrained Photoshop habits from literally decades of doing this that it takes me time. But that's a good one, Brian. I thank you, sir. Okay, here's my little flasky flask. And then we're going to do... I like the idea that it's haunted. We're not going to say that, you know, explicitly, but... You know, this could be either haunted, or it could be poison, or it could be, you know, like triple X moonshine or something. We're not going to be explicit, but we're going to skull it up. Because you know you want to skull it up, baby. Oh, yeah. And then I could see it being part of a story, you know, like this flask is, you know, whoever drinks from it will never die or something. And so if the member of the horse wrestling gang gets a hold of this flask, that's going to be a very bad thing. Very, very bad. Do you want to meet me in the east? So, you know, kind of like top lighting, you'll often get this thing with skulls where you want the eyes to slant down because you want it to be badass. So every once in a while you slant them up and you get this kind of funny, different, you know, bony feeling. If that makes any sense at all, it's kind of a... So this sort of skull is like on a leather piece that is stitched on here. So I'm going to do little stitches on the side. Oh, there. I gotta remember that X, man. Is that dope? I know it seems silly, right, that I don't know that, but there it is, man. I don't know stuff. That looks real dope. Okay, cool. It has the waters of the fountain of youth, yes. Or it could be poison. Or it could be like the soul of Bart the Killer is in there. Or any number of cool little sub-stories could be invented. So in this particular shot, it's kind of, you know, bouncing or falling or floating. This is one thing I learned with my Junked project recently is like, I've been working on all these little cars and they look so much cooler when they're just slightly hovering above the ground at a slightly aggressive angle, like they're kind of bouncing. And I don't mean drawings, I mean actual miniatures. And so like I put bases on them, stuff. You guys will see all that stuff in time. It's a new project I'm very proud of called Junked, and everybody will see it in time. But not yet. Alright. There we go. Good to go. The Haunted Flask. I like it. But it's lacking. It needs a little inscription down here. And if you don't read the inscription before you open it, like Hell's Fury comes out. There we go. Like, hey, I can't read them letters. Them letters look weird. We need to find someone that can read them and for translatify, lest we be cursed. Okay, there we go. Haunted Flask, thanks for the idea. A coyote. Matching pistols in a fancy case. Not bad, not bad. Abandoned Stagecoach. We have done a Stagecoach, but we haven't done an abandoned one. That's kind of an interesting location. That's almost like an adventure location, right? So let's hop over to horizontal. I like that one. A hangman's tree, we already did that. We already did a gallows as well. We already did cactuses with the oracle. A high quality cigar might be a little on the tiny side for a card. That is a very small detail. Okay, so I need to do a stagecoach, but it's sort of out in the desert and kind of wrecked, right? And it's almost like the site of some terrible event happened where this stagecoach used to be. So as you can see, I'm trying to stick with all my principles, right? I'm trying to just pull all my lines, not hesitate, not think twice. Just let the forms appear as the forms are going to appear. There we go. So see, this is where you can start to see the stagecoach taking shape here. So really it's just a sort of a box with these kind of fluted corners on it. So I know a stagecoach could seem like a sort of intimidating topic, geometrically speaking, but if you just try to break it down into what the bulk of the shape really is, maybe you can get past some of those opening creative fears and hesitations. Because Lord knows that is one of the hardest challenges. I always talk about it, but I really think it's important to get out in the open that everybody has those challenges, because I just see so many people getting stopped by those challenges that it's like my mission in life to make everybody feel comfortable with their early creative fears and to overcome them. That is something very important to me. Here's the little compartment on the back. And then, you know, these things are made of wood, so I'll do a little bit of planking here. And I haven't quite done the abandoned component, so we'll get to that in just a second. So I think stagecoaches usually have this little rail on top. There's a little lever here where like the brake is that the driver would normally operate. And then here we have some stray boards that have come out. Now, Index Card RPG Volume 1 did have a wrecked wagon. That was part of the Bump in the Road adventure, but this is a little different. That fourth wheel, you don't even know where it is. It rolled down the mountain somewhere. What's in the abandoned? The flask. Ah! A totem is pretty good. I think we'll do just one totem. But I don't think quite like a totem pole. I think that's a little on the nose. But let's do something kind of like a totem, because I think that could be handy in adventure. You know, that's the exercise here, is not only to come up with some nice, you know, thematic pieces to form story and to form terrain and to do, but also, you know, what could be useful when you're DMing and you need these little adventure pieces and these little terrain pieces, and like utility is as important as theme when it comes to the cards, or at least imagined utility, because who knows what's going to be useful and who's not, you know. The joy of our hobby, right? You never know what the hell's going to happen next. Alright. So I hope you guys are all enjoying hanging out. This is all there is to it right here. This is Cardtoons, guys. Just a little bit of coffee and just getting stuff done. There's nothing earth-shattering happening here. Alright, so here we go. Here's a plank kind of thing. Now, what I wanted to do is get this like abandoned feeling. So, it may seem a little silly, but I'm going to do this. I'm not even scared anymore. Look at this. Spider webs. Just hanging out. Is it realistic? No. But is it fun? Yes. You know, and you don't always want to do your spider webs like, you know, these sort of concentric rings, because it can look kind of weird and a little sort of Halloween silly. So get used to just doing nice little draping lines, and you can get good at doing things like ropes and rigging on ships, and generally things that you want to look dilapidated and messy. You can just put all these little draping lines on there, and you get this feeling of age and of unkeptness. Oh my gosh, Brian, this X key business is just crazy. It's so instant. I mean, I'm still looking down a little bit because I'm new to it, but So cool. Thank you. There we go. This is just sort of seeing the surface of the wheel. I need a couple of those. Yeah, so see just how those goofy little spider webs, they're pretty simple, but they give this feeling of age to things. Another thing you can do is just little lines at random angles that don't follow the planking angles and stuff, and it can look like scratches and scrapes and cuts. Just another little like super simple trick so that you don't get your head all tangled up thinking like, I don't know how to do aging. I don't know how to make this look old and abandoned. I don't know how to, no, you don't. Nobody does. Nobody knows anything. So revel in your ignorance. Now is your time to live, not hesitate. Be your own self. Cool, check that out. That kind of feels like an abandoned stagecoach, like a wrecked. And there's some little particles in the air, and maybe a little cloud back here. Just a little cloud kind of floating along. Just living. Alright, there you go. I think I'm good. Let's keep trucking. Yep, we have a snake that we've done. You're just asking for a snake back. Good morning, Sean. Good to have you, man. A field of freshly dug shallow graves. Oh, whoa. Field of dead cows. Whoa. Okay, a dead animal is pretty cool. But we were going to do one other that I already forgot. And I don't feel happy about that. Something that was going to be in an adventure. What was it? Poker table. Haven't done that yet. Yeah, it is. This is kind of... I don't know if it's undead. That would be for players to discover, but... Looks like something bad happened here. That's all I know. Yeah, exactly, Matt. That's what I'm saying. We already have person riding into the sunset. A dead critter is really too good for me to pass up. I really need that one. So let's do that one. I can't remember what the one said that would be used. Oh, a totem. That's right, a totem. We already have a Bible. Okay, so we're going to do a dead critter. So you're not going to be sure if it's a horse or a cow or quite exactly what it is, and that's okay, because we don't want to get too graphic with it. So now I'm having a moment here where I'm not sure how the hell I'm going to portray this. So I'm just going to start kind of... I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm just going to try to get some shapes down. And it might look like a dinosaur taking a nap. We'll see. I know there have to be these kind of funny ribs. I mean, I guess it's not that funny, right? This is death we're talking about here. Okay, so see, what the hell am I doing there? So one thing that I'll do sometimes is just do this just to try to feel out. So now I'm just not even doing... I'm going to delete everything I'm doing, but I'm trying to get my hand to see what it's going to be doing on this drawing. Like, is this thing sort of face down? Is it face up, like where it's like that? And like, there's and there's like a leg up in the sky. And man, I don't know. This isn't easy. So I think I liked my first instinct, which is that it fell over on its side. So I need this sort of cattle skull or horse skull on its side. And that does not feel easy to me. But I'm just going to go for it. So here we go. And then they have this kind of big nose hole in their skulls like this. And there's some teeths. And okay, now I'm underway. So you see that other drawing, it's not that I failed. I just needed to help my hand learn what it's going to be drawing. So you don't need to feel like, oh, I didn't draw it right and now I have to delete it. No, it's all part of the fun. So here we go. So see, the jaw's kind of fallen off. Okay, now I'm on track. So I just need to warm my hand and my mind up to the concept. Now I'm trucking. Stagecoach roadkill. Hey, Jonathan Plain, drink. Bit of fur too. Yeah, Will Olick, we definitely got to have some fur and some flesh still on here. And you're just not going to be able to tell, like, is that a horn or are those ears? And, like, is this a horse? Is it a cow? Like, what's going on? Okay, so then the spine's going to go up like that and then down. So I'm going to do a few vertebrae. And then we're going to have some sort of, here's where some of the meat and the guts are right here. I know, sorry if this is a bit of an unpleasant topic, guys, but this is a reality in the desert. We already have a skull, like a steer skull that's out in the desert, but it looks like it's been there for like years. This is like a couple days ago. So if you had an adventure where you were tracking down some rustlers or something, maybe they've been, killing off old rancher Harkin's cattle. Pert near 24 head been killed. As this keeps up, I'm not going to be able to make men's meat this year. My family will go hungry. And I cannot allow that to occur. So here we go. So see, it's kind of laying on the side of its ribs. And then the ribs are not in the best of shape. They're there's a couple broken ones. And then, this one's down here on the ground. I threw it on the ground. Okay, so I'm not a cell phone. Here we go. Oops, that's the positive space. So there we go. Don't want to accidentally fill in your positive space. That's not cool. So the dark colors kind of represent the fleshy backdrop here. Be excellent to each other. Party on. Alright, so now I need to think about maybe some legs and stuff, but we're kind of getting this slightly scary, sort of macabre scene, which is what I was wanting and hoping for. Is like, ugh, when you discover that you should be a little bit, yeesh. Ooh. Okay, so now here's where the leg was, and the sort of rump of the beast. So it kind of comes up like that, and then down like that, and then we're going to have a hoof. And then we're going to have some more decay, and like here's some of the pelvis. And I wouldn't worry too much about specific anatomy here. You just want enough to portray the concept. Here's sort of a portion of this other leg and hoof. Creepy, right? This thing's been torn apart, perhaps by alien. A Ghost Mountain campaign or adventure that had some alien presence would be really fun. Here's the tail. Like, the skinwalker type myth, if you guys have ever heard about that. You could do that kind of myth in a Western adventure. So then he's kind of missing some upper limbs, so I'm going to do a little bit of a upper limb here. And again, where I just sort of get confused on form, I just fall back on these horizontal lines, which kind of show the ground. And you'll just kind of, not quite cover your tracks, but just remind the eye that this thing is laying on the ground. Without getting all hung up in exactly how do I draw a perspective on a squished cow corpse. Like, that could be a frustrating question to ask oneself. Like, sometimes seeing perspective in a literal fashion can be very, very challenging, even for the skilled artist. So a solution that I use is I just kind of start drawing. Just start working. I don't use like a bunch of vanishing points and squares and lines and things to try to get proper perspective. Now, the critique on the other side of that might be, well, yeah, dude, that's why none of your drawings have really awesome perspective. But frankly, I would rather have fun than do proper perspective. If I was faced with that choice, that's an easy choice for me to make. There we go. Look at this thing. Okay, now we gotta have some flies. And, you know, you can always do quick flies by 2 little half circles and a black dot. And then just do some black dots as the slightly further away flies. And there's the magic. There's a little bit of grass coming up through here too. That's kind of gross. Little teeny lines for fur. You know, little fur bits sticking to bones and stuff. Everything's all nasty. Get those weird red bones if you've ever seen those. Ugh. So gross. Little furry leg here. And we're just about done. Get a little more shading so that that jawbone kind of pops as a jawbone shape, which is, you know, like a U shape. Cool, man. Kind of creepy. Eek. Grisly is what it is. I can hardly bear it. Do a sheriff badge. Guillotine or a guillotine to me does not fit the West, Oscar. I don't imagine anyone in the Wild West being executed via guillotine. I mean, that would be weird and a crazy story, but I imagine it much more being like gallows and stuff like that. But an executioner is kind of interesting. Those are just a bit medieval images to me. Good news, Pyronide, rock on. Okay, we wanted to do a small totem, so let's get that done. I don't know how to draw a sentient saloon. We did a saloon already, so... abandoned wigwam. We did a bit of a teepee village, but that isn't a wigwam, but still potentially serves the same purpose. An undertaker. Okay, that would be getting into characters, so maybe we'll do an executioner, a gravedigger. Oh my gosh, how do we not have an outhouse yet? Okay, so everybody just stop and just hold on to those ideas so you can remind me, okay? But real quick, I want to get this totem done. So I'm going to do this kind of like eagle totem thing. So we're going to do the outhouse, and then we're going to start getting into characters. Okay? Why? Because this is not a democracy. Now, I'm going to sort of be rampantly just butchering any sense of authenticity in Native American totem culture by doing this. So I apologize ahead of time for that. But that said, I also just want to sort of do a styleless style. I don't really want to call out a particular tribe or tradition. You know, I kind of just want to do my own meaningless, improvised thing so that you don't get that specificity that could, you know, walk on a real life tradition. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. That's not cool. Okay, so there's just these kind of shapeless, meaningless spirals and things. Right, then I'm just getting some basic ideas and then just use black to try to, bring it out and make it pop a little bit. And a lot of you probably in the span of learning how to draw, practicing drawing, watching videos about drawing stuff, you hear that term pop. And I know that, in the professional art community, it's really thrown around a lot. A lot of art directors and when you're doing critique at work and stuff like that, the word pop is just thrown around so much. Basically, what it means is if you sort of are seeing with a blurry vision or looking at a glance or looking at very small scale, using either color or light value or shape, you get shapes and ideas to really jump off the page. That's what popping is. And there's millions of different techniques and theories on ways to get more pop in your artwork. And we're not going to delve into all of those right now because there's just too many. Suffice it to say, do you want to meet me in a bar? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in a lounge? So exactly what makes a totem a totem? I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of a pole stuck in the ground for starters, right? I mean, it's a log-like shape. And then it has some carvings in it. Everybody knows that much. But exactly what about the carvings and the shapes really make it work? I don't know. So I'm not particularly liking all my shapes, but instead of like giving up and getting frustrated, I'm going to just start getting heavier with my ink. Like, these are some bold moves here. So since I'm painting digitally, I'm not slowed down by delivering ink to paper. So I can just start doing some heavy fills. Now I'm already liking it better. So did you see what I did? I kind of just eradicated a bunch of my work with black. I just said nah to a lot of it. But in some ways I kept what I had been working on. I didn't just scrap it and feel crummy about myself. I met myself in the club. I met myself in the East. So see, there now I have a repeating shape that I like that's coming down. It's these sort of holes or depressions. And so what I'm going to do is just play that up. And then I'm going to use my white ink and cut a nice clean edge down the side. See how that gets so clean looking? And then I just realized, well, this other side isn't really matching. So I'm going to pull it like that and then get it to match. So it kind of looks like I planned on doing all this garbage, but I totally didn't. I stumbled into it. But it's like, oh, well, yeah, he kind of planned on these two angled shapes and those little wing shapes. Nah, not really. I'm just... Let me tell you about my best friend. Da, 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 da. Maybe some ghostly fog. Oh yeah, good idea. So this kind of has a bit of an aura to it. You know, so this could either be used by a shaman type character, or maybe they encounter it out in the wild, or maybe it's part of a story construct. So now here is the in shadow equivalents of these sort of dark spots that I've been doing. I don't even know what these are, but see there now I start to ooh. And also, you see, as my forms got weirder and made less sense, I got this sense of otherworldliness. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at right now, and I like that. That to me captures some of the magic of what a totem should represent. So now I'm just doing little white cutouts that could give this sense of having more carvings that are really than what you really see. It's just implied detail where I really have no idea what I'm doing. See that? So now I feel like I have a totem. So I just bumbled my way into it, and I know I repeat myself, but I really want to invite everyone out there who's struggling with learning to draw to experiment with that process of letting your hand draw things. And your mind will not like it and will not know where you're going with things, but that fear and overcoming it and then flowing, that to me is a big part of improving. I'm Jim. I imagine you find a totem has an eerie feeling. Okay, yeah, so let's get to that part, because I'm feeling pretty satisfied with the kind of the carving element. Because what am I even looking at? It's really weird, isn't it? But that's kind of what I want. I want this sense of like, what is that thing? Okay, so I'm going to give myself, to do this eerie thing you guys are talking about, I'm going to give myself a little room, so I'm going to scale down. Come down here, shrink my brush a bit. When you're doing things like gas, clouds, fog, stuff like that, if you use a smaller line, you get this feeling of lighter mass. So if you use a really big pen and you're trying to draw like gas, you'll feel that it can feel like a solid object because the line is too heavy. But with a lighter line, it gets this kind of barely there feeling. Now, that is just air, not necessarily gas. So, hey Shaker, thanks, man. So a nice reminder from Matt Shaker, the tip jar is open if anybody cares. Absolutely no expectation to do any of that, but it is available. Yeah, so now that's just air. So now what we want is this like aura, right? As Sam describes it. So we'll kind of do this. So now I've got like all these weird tangents, right? These lines aren't being nice with each other. So what I'll do is I'll get my white or my eraser, whichever you like, and get rid of these tangents that are fighting. A tangent is just a word that means, where lines meet, where they touch. And you really want tangents to cross and touch each other in ways that feel good to the eye. So sometimes when tangents touch each other, it feels sort of awkward or tense. And those are tangents you want to go back and edit and work on. So you see what I did is I took those places where those lines met in a weird way and then changed it to a more parallel feeling or a more round feeling. So you get this nice space of tangency here. And that'll help give the eye a feeling of the piece of art being done or being harmonious. Maybe some incense at the base. I love the idea. I love collaborating with you guys. It's really fun. It's a lot harder to do volume drawing without awesome collaborators like you guys, just on your own and just in a void asking yourself, ooh, what should I do next? That's a lot harder to do. So here these little incense sticks are giving up. And so you notice I'm allowed to cross some lines here, but I'm doing it with this perpendicular tangency. And so the eye doesn't mind because those lines cross each other with such authority or with such clarity. So now that I have all this sort of gas and oddity going on, I feel I need a little more weight in the totem itself to make sure that it stays solid in the midst of all this sort of optical noise. So what I'm going to do is get some more black into the shape. So this means, compromising some of my carvings. But it's okay because I want it to feel there, to feel solid. So see, they're like big black there. And then a big black spot here. And these really bold shadows so that this thing feels solid. Instead of feeling like gas. You see how just that change? The totem is much more there feeling. Another way that I switched to white really quick is I hit Alt and I grab white from the background. But X is pretty stinking fast. That's impressive. Okay, there's a little top. And I think I'm about done. Oops. My little totem with its weird aura. So I've got some crummy tangents up here, and I'm going to get rid of this stuff. I don't like how those shapes are coming together. Instead of looking like a cloud or gas or something, it just, I don't know, it looked like a blob, it didn't have that right weight to it. And then finally, I think I'm going to just not let these touch. See that? So it's like there's a bit of a light, a little space right around the totem where not even gas touches it. That gives it this, again, like helps its form be defined. And there you go. The Eagle Totem of Red Bluff. Brian Smith dropping $1.99. Get yourself a Coors. Yeah, love me some Banquet, baby. Love me some Banquet. Okay, so last step. I'm still kind of ruminating on this piece. I'm going to just do a little bit of cleanup here. I think I just need less lines. There we go. Just need the air to have enough room where I can see and feel the concept. And there, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So let's just call this one off. Let's call it good. Let's call it done. Control S. Okay, so I told you guys to keep track of some concepts for me, so I didn't lose them. We did the totem. I think we're going to do an executioner. And what was the other one? Oh, an undertaker. So, when you're doing ICRPG, the characters... Oh, Outhouse. Dude, Sam, yes, thank you. That was close. I almost forgot, right? I told you. I told you I'd forget. Okay, so let's get this. So did you see how I just did that line like 4 times? It's because I was just doing the pulling the line, and I wanted to pull a nice smooth line. So I just kept pulling it until I felt good about it. Infernal Steam Mecha. We already have one of those. Group Soliloquy. We already did a super weird steam machine last session. Still a great idea. Okay, this is my little roof. Have a couple little stairs here that kind of go. And you know, I know that there's some sort of line slop going on, but I'm gonna worry about all that later. I'm just gonna have fun first. And I'm a little tall and thin, so I want to get a little more like that. And, you know, a lot of times you can't be too free with scaling drawings because you can mess up the resolution, you can mess up the line thickness, you can introduce pixelation. But that said, you always do have a small tolerance for a little bit of scaling on your work. That won't degrade it at all, especially if you use smart objects like Jazza recommends. If you guys haven't seen Jazza, you should check that channel out. He's a fantastic artist. Great channel. Huge following too. Huge YouTube channel. Him and Cynics are 2 of my favorite art YouTube channels. Okay, so here's your little hinges. And then we're going to do planks. Planks for the memories. TP trailing out the door. That is such a goofy detail. It just has to be done. Someone's having a heck of a time in there. Okay, so back to the plank project. Promoting core fitness in America's youth. We're gonna be planking all month for charity, guys. All right, here you go. So great. Here we go. And then planks. Also to do, and you know, this is kind of like on the deck of a ship too. If you guys watch Jeremy on Black Magic Craft, which you should because he's got a great channel. He has a great sense for how to do these alternating planks like that. Yeah, see that kind of. And then he also, kind of reminded me about doing nail holes in old world construction. Now you don't have to do, a nail hole for every single plank, and make it all consistent and the same and all this kind of stuff. It's just a little bit here, a little bit of there, a little bit of this, a little something, something. You know what I mean? Just let it flow, let it balance. Just be cool, you know what I mean? Just make sure you're being cool. I don't even know what that is. I think there's just a straight plank over there where they fixed something. So remember, when you're looking up at a terminating cylinder, it's always a curved line. That's like some OG Commander Mark kind of stuff right there. It's funny looking back on Commander Mark, some of those photos look pretty creepy. I gotta say. I don't think there was anything creepy about Mark Kessler as a person, but just it's funny to look back on some of those 80s pictures with kids and everything. It looks kind of creepy. Cool, so there's the breather tube. Whoa, what are all these comments? Questing Beast is up in the spot to be. He gets some stuff done. He getting some tangs done. All right, so this roof is also made of planks, so we're going to put dividers there, and then going to do some little details here about how these planks have some flaws on them, and so do little sort of grain lines and stuff. And it's not much. It's just a little bit of loving. Just so you know, this isn't like tile or something. This isn't smooth. Crescent moon door hole. Oh, I'm saving it for last. Can't you tell? Crescent moon door hole is where it's at. I'm just doing all the other stuff first. Okay, now just for fun, because this sort of pattern is starting to get weary on my eye, the door is made out of horizontal planks like this. And it's just going to give me a break from all these vertical lines. And then in a couple spots, they didn't quite plan the door right, so the planks kind of end like that, and there's some nails. Right? This thing is not made that great. And then you got your moon door hole. And that looks too much like cinder blocks with those lines. So I'm going to bag that idea. And I'm going to make the doors just made out of like 2 planks, maybe 3 planks. So it just has a couple of lines. So I'm just backing up on my work there. Just wound up looking like bricks, So no need to be stubborn, no need to be prideful. You just, just live, Rambo. The little hinges that they had to buy in town. Now also, hinges back then have these little tongues on them, right, that hold the door like that. Hold the door. And then just a couple of planks like this. And then what we're going to do is, like, the moon was cut through one of the plank seams, and there's going to be a little bit of an off pattern there. So it's like right there, right? The moon crosses the thing, and that's where the guy who's doing the sawing like kind of messed up. So there's a little, see that? There's a little goof because he didn't have like a jigsaw. He's using a handsaw to do this stuff. Okay, and then you want this sort of the highlight of the thickness of the door that can be seen inside the moon hole. And so you just get your white and just like that. Now, what I want to find is where it's going to serve us best. We are looking up at this a little bit. So would you see it there? Would you see it like that? That's where it's catching the light. Or would you see it like under here? I think, yeah, where it's catching light works best. Just Kevin checking. So you can see I'm doing this line over and over because I only get one stroke to do the line, but I want that stroke to be well fit to its parallel curve. There we go. Alright, so we got a lot of fun little elements here, and then I'm just going to get a little more dark because, again, I like strong dark, especially when these are at smaller size. The strong darks will really give it a solid form, give it presence on the table. If you just do line art, it can wind up very light feeling, like it's kind of not there, which I know sounds a little bit weird, like art double talk, but things can feel too light, and the dark ink will give you this weight. Cool. See how that just made it feel there? And then, unfortunately, I have to do this part. I just have to. And there's a couple of flies. And there you go. The outhouse. That is so classic. Okay, cool. A birdhouse. I think that's too many ideas in one. Besides, no one puts a birdhouse on an outhouse. That'd be the worst birdhouse ever. Those are miserable birds. Oh, you know what I did forget? Door handle, guys. Old-timey door handle. Like that. There you go. Oh, man, it's so fun. And I don't remember, but is there a little occupied sign that hangs on there? Or, I don't know. I have enough concepts going. I feel satisfied, so I'm gonna let it sit. I'm done. Save. Okay. Whew. The bird projects. Ouch. Make a burned house. Vultures circling overhead. Hey, I am Mojo75. Thank you for that call out. I'll take that opportunity to just say something about that real quick. It has been hard to maintain, some of my earlier, more regular streams with life getting a little crazy, but just wanted to come back and try to renew this Saturday morning habit that we've had together and keep it going. So I'm going to do my best to keep doing Saturday mornings from here on out and really live by that word that discipline is a way to appreciate yourself and to be true to yourself, respect yourself is by being disciplined. And for me, part of that is Saturday morning. Scranton, what up? Okay, so we did have a few things that we had on tap that we need to follow through on. So we wanted to get started on characters. So that was an Undertaker, that was an Executioner. Each RCRPG volume comes with about 6 characters, which are like portraits, not full body stuff, but like portraits, like NPC type. You're talking to this guy kind of things. So if you're going to talk to the Executioner, an Executioner is a bit of a concept from medieval times. I don't know if that really carried over into the West, but this is Ghost Mountain. So maybe the Executioner would be down in hell. Maybe this is what's so terrible about one town you come into, is that they're these sort of barbaric town. And they still have like a headsman in this town, but it's in the West. Like, how creepy is that? That's just wrong, right? So let's give him a hood, just like Elisa of Inglemore. And when I have this much space to fill, I'll just grab my lasso and spare myself the pain of coloring all that in. And see, I didn't even really catch the edges right, but I don't care. I just do that with my marker and just like move on with life. Okay, so here's this hood that he has. And I'm not sure why, but I had assumed it's male. Yeah, and so I actually like the storyline idea that you're in the West, but you come into this town where they still practice these sort of medieval barbaric practices. But why? And so the players would witness like an execution in an Old West town. How intense is that? That's not cool. Okay, so this just basic, like, he's just a dude with a hood, basically. He's just some dude. But, you can give him a little bit of ominous implication by the way that he looks and so on and so forth. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. So just using some white ink to bite the clarity into the shapes. Get good sharp shapes, especially if you want a bad guy. Sharp shapes can imply evil. That's more weird art double talk, but it really does work. When you get these sharp things, they feel like, ooh, God, he's kind of nasty. He's kind of a jerk. Okay, so then cleaning this up so you get the clean jawline. And then he's got a lopsided hood, of course. And then we're going to need his, they're like shirtless, right? They're always these sort of shirtless brute dudes. So there's the sphenomastoid tendon and musculature. I know that got a little weird with my anatomical terminology there. And then he's got these big traps, the trapezius, and then from the trapezius comes the collarbones, the clavicles. You can take your flabalanche and make a rope ladder so you can crawl back into the sewer from which you came. All right. So just getting a little over explicit with his musculature, again, to press this kind of creepiness to him, this almost skeletal scariness. Like, this isn't a dude you want to be talking to, but the adventure or the quest or this, this particular episode of your story has this guy in it. And then for the final step, he's been through some stuff. So he's got some scarring. He's got some sort of blotchies. Hey. Okay, so now I don't really like the eyes. I don't feel that they live up to his concept. So I need to sort of do a better job. And then this feels just too toony. So that feels better. That feels even better. And I need to find a look that is sort of wrong enough. I pressed Z on accident. There we go. Yeah, so see, it's like I'm getting a bit more of a wrong look now. And this, to me, fits it better. Like, what do I mean by wrong? Well, it's kind of not these clean little cartoony eye holes. They're more like these kind of messed up eye holes. And to me, that does a better job at telling this story. And then he just has a little tighter fit. It's kind of a challenging topic, for it to feel like I want it to feel. That's better. And I don't want him to feel like a wizard. I got a little bit of a wizard thing going. So I'm just going to bag that. And see, already that feels pretty decisive in changing his tone. So I got to make sure there's enough room for his skull in there. Okay, and then back to my white to make everything sharp again. And then I'm going to, with a smaller white pen, do this. So his hood is kind of like a sack, that has this these kind of crummy seams on it. Like 2 seams. That's all I need. There we go. Yeah, so that does it. What's that little dot floating up above? I don't know. A chubby mayor with mutton chops? Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. I'm going to leave the axe off, Pyronide, because I want to leave that to the storytelling of the moment to because it could be a guillotine, it could be an axe, it could be a pistol. I don't want to fully commit to the medieval concept. I want to leave that a little bit to the players and the GM. So I'm going to leave that a bit open. And then you guys know that some of my cards I put these sort of corner pieces to give it this sort of portraiture feel. Kind of the quote-unquote done feel. Oh crap, you see that? I accidentally waxed my brush. I got to clicking so fast I picked some random brush. There we go. Okay, cool. I don't know what those little lines are and how they got there. Okay, there we go. Cool. Executioner. Could be a hanging tree. We already did that. Okay, so now we wanted to do the Undertaker, and then let's skip to the mayor because I just love that one. So there's a chubby sort of mayor with mutton chops, right? That was the concept. A chubby mayor with mutton chops. So I see the top of his head first in my mind's eye, and he's looking up, and he has like a nose kind of like that. I'm breaking every rule of proper drawing right now, which is I'm just drawing the form. I'm not drawing any construction at all, but life is going to go on. We're going to make it. We're going to endure. But he has a clean-shaven chin, right? That's the kind of the fun of it. He has these chops, but a clean-shaven chin. That's a good time. Kind of a jowly fellow. And I think mustache? Or no mustache? There's mustache. There's no mustache. What do we think? Or maybe this little dude. Yeah, and then his chops did get a little too big and too scraggly, right? He's a well-kept fellow. So, cleaning up the chops a bit, like that. There we go. I like that better. Mustache, no mustache. I'm seeing mustache. Oh, waxed. That's an idea. I like that. Oh, yeah. Dude. Sell 32005. You're brilliant. Look at that. Come on. Get out. I'm going to give him black hair just because you can see it better, but dear Lord. That is brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. Oh my gosh. Oh, nothing like a waxed mustache to get your day going, you know? There's his little bottom lip shadow. Here's some of his jowliness. Now with the black hair, he got a little younger. But that's kind of okay. He's almost like a Doc Holliday type persona. And then I think he can't have the Mario tufts because they downplay the chops. So we're going to do this. Oh my, look at this guy. This guy is majestic. Okay, let's get the sort of eye socket shadow, which sometimes can become like it looks like it becomes the eye. You know, and then you add an extra line and it becomes the eye. So when that happens, I say, no, I don't like that. I want my drawing how it was, like this. So I just won't do that shadow. And then I'll fill in the next line down, which is the actual eye. So a lot of times drawing like cartoony things, you know, people are always tempted to draw white eyes with pupils. But in many lighting scenarios, our eyes are actually just dark spots. This is a fellow with important things on his mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got stuff to do. And he's not going to put up with any bull. Now we're going to get to the real business, which is this like cravat that he's sporting. Actually, you probably don't want a cravat though for Wild West. You probably want like a bolo. So he's got this little dude. Right? And then he's got his nice tight collar. Dude, this guy's majestic, I'm telling you. He is going to be the key to some adventure in some future game that I want to hear about if anybody uses him. And he is not built like a tank like the Executioner. He's got these sort of smaller shoulders. And then either flower or possibly boutonniere. Well, I guess a boutonniere is a flower, right? Like that. Or he's got pocket square. Oh yeah, pocket square is better. A little more manly. And then he's got one of these button-over shirts like this. Now I don't need every detail here because it's just a portrait. So I just need some nice heavy ink now to ground him and to give him some presence. So I'm just going to do this kind of stuff. So this is like the guy that owns the bar or the mayor or the guy that pays you to do the adventure or a guy that says, you know, enough whooping and a whomping. Or like, your kind ain't welcome in here. Your droids, they have to wait outside. Like, droids? I thought this was a Wild West thing. I think there's an opportunity for something better here, which is that he has spectacles in his pocket. Mayor Flowers of Greg Gulch. There you go. There you go. And that is how adventures are made. Well, of course you heard of old Mayor Flowers from Greg Gulch. Word is, he's got $4,000 bounty on you boys. Oops, I pressed Z again. I'm still learning that X key. There we go. He's got spectacles in his pocket. And that is about it for Mayor Flowers of Greg Grave Gulch. Now you guys may wonder like what these little things are that I do in the background. They're just something to break up, you know, painful amounts of space. There we go. That guy is amazing. I am so happy about that. Both just as a drawing, but because of the collaborative element. It's just, yes. I mean, he could also be like the pharmacist type guy, the druggist. What do you to draw? I don't know what that means. Saloon girl lying on top of a piano. It reminds me of Teddy Roosevelt. A piano really is too good of an idea to pass up. So let's go. I guess in the Wild West, though, you have those vertical pianos, not the baby grand, right? Or concert grand. Hey, we're coming up on, been drawing for well over an hour now. Oh, yeah, as a barber. Oh, love it. But yeah, I could see finding like a haunted piano out in the desert would be a cool adventure. By the way, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never drawn a piano. Just want you guys to all know that. That's a quick disclaimer. Okay. So there's the cover, and it's sort of rolled up, but then you have the keys, which are here, and it's playing the automatic piano version of Black Hole Sun, naturally. I really liked what they did in Westworld with that. You know, later when you go back and listen to the soundtrack of Westworld, it is a little gimmicky and a little corny. But when you're watching the show, when it was originally airing, and it kind of dawns on you that they're all like 90s songs being played by a ghost piano, it's pretty damn fun. Okay. So, yes, I know that is not the proper number. Yeah, so there is a place for sheet music on these, but then they also have that window up above where the spool is turning. Right? So we'll do the sheet music rack first, and then it has these little spring-loaded thingies like that, right? But then you have this hole in the front of the ghost piano where you get to see the spool. And I think you actually change the spool there, too, to put in different songs. If I know my relics properly. And I'll hide a little bit of hint of machinery and stuff in here too. And then remember, you know, it's like Braille or like Morse code on this thing. I'm sure there's a name for that code that is used. I don't know what it is. Ghost piano code. So then here's just a very light implication that there's like some little machinery and stuff in there. Just a couple little lines. Black ocean, hold you and walk away. Sorry about the creaky chair, guys. I'm gonna have to fix that. It's getting pretty annoying. I don't know why plastic office chairs always get creaky. What is with that? Why so creaky, yo? Isn't creaky like a thing that wood does? Like, why does plastic have to be creaky? These are just little carvings on the piano. Okay, and then the rest of the piano. So I've got most of the pieces that I really wanted. Black ocean, won't you hear me here? and wash away the rain. Heck, hold son, hold your arm, hold your arm, hold your arm. In my eye, monkey sleep, and my soul is to keep. When the monkey's on the rain, tell me, see your nose again. Alright. Little shadow under the cover there. Here, and then there's a big shadow down here. Again, trying to get that solidity. And wash away the rain. Smack ocean, won't you come? Runehammer, what? Hey Hank, I was always curious, what happened to Dungeons and Dragons? Well, it's Runehammer. I've explained several times, why that change occurred, and it really has been a really good change. That was not an easy decision, believe me. But it was a really good change. It's very important to do that. And I'm very happy that I did that. Oh, see, old habits came back. I went and got my eraser. Gotta remember that X key, man. That X key is bala. That's the $2 bala. And walk away the rain. Now this is corny, but you guys are going to have to put up with it because I'm going to do this. Notes. I know, super corn, right? But I'm doing it. And then we're going to do another one of these kind of little auras. I know it's very subtle, but I think it'll get the job done. To just do a couple little things like that. Okay, and then let's just solidify and get everything grounded. Looks like my ground plane is a little off horizontal, just guessing. And there we go. There's a little cup up here where the pianist sometimes enjoys his whiskey. I'll put a bottle up here too, why not? Right behind the little cup. There we go. Wash away the rain, Mako-chan. Hold your gum, hold your gum, hold your gum. In my eyes, monkey sleep. All right. Whew, there we go. That's pretty cool, huh? Haunted piano. Everything's haunted. Ghost Mountain. Let's do a haunted comb. All right. Broken music notes. I don't think they will be perceived as broken. They'll just look like I screwed up. That's something you'd have to draw pretty up close to get that idea to sell. In my eyes, monkey sleep. Yeah, I use a Cintiq HD for this drawing, and then I also use a Remarkable, which I'm going to have a video review coming to that because of the number of questions about it. Oh, my coffee is colder than a dead monkey in winter. And believe me, young man, that is cold. Okay, cool. So I'm just diddling. Great. Piano's done. Do you have an undead prospector? All right, let's do one more, and then it's going to come up on 10 o'clock. Yeah, poker table would be pretty good. We already did cemetery. Drawing a bar scene full of bourbon. I try to avoid full scenes because they can be a little too much sound to fit on an index card. I don't have a train cam because Ghost Mountain distinctly predates the railroad era. So they only have like minecart rails. They don't have trains yet. It's kind of like what keeps the world so isolated is there's not quite trains. Like maybe there's a few trains over in the East Coast or something. But prospectors have ridiculous hats. Just saying. I just want to put that out there. What the heck are you doing there, prospecting? All right, let's do it. Let's just get into it. But he's happy, right? The prospectors are happy, even though they're complete screw-ups usually. That's a really harsh generalization of prospectors. Oh my goodness. This dude is straight up crazy. Okay, this is a pretty good ending. Oh boy. Welcome to my claim. I've been dead partner 27 years. Still mining this claim. I just walk up and down these old tunnels here. By the way, I'm going to eat your face. I'm going to go right on ahead and eat your face. Oh my gosh. What is his beard stuck to? I don't know. What isn't it stuck to? Like, this is the beard of the ages over here. Beard of ages, rock a rollin'. You got no teeth, just a couple. You're a prospector. I'm gonna eat in your face. All right. Dun, 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 dun. We're going to prospect this damn place down. Woohoo. Down to the ground. All right. He's got this white beard, so I can't color it in even though I want to. Terribly. But it's white, so. And my beard is not gray, young man. It is white. It's from one of my Conan story records that I got. All right, I don't know what this is. It's like some kind of Chinese hairpin or something up here. I don't know why he has a Chinese hairpin stuck in his hat, but he does. And there's no backing down now. I don't know where I got this dang thing. I had it up in my hat for so long. He's got some sticks in his beard here. A couple little twigs. This is shadow. Even though his beard is white, this is in shadow over here. And that's okay. Down to the ground. Dun, 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 dun. Rise up, gather round. We're going to prospect this mine down to the ground. We're going to pan it up. Let's go for broke. Oh, man. What's the matter? Go up in smoke. Rock on, drive me crazy, yeah. All right. Wow, this dude. And then I think the worst part of all, not that this already isn't all absolutely terrible, but the worst part of all is that he's like got no flesh left. He's just a skeleton. Yep, exactly. Cell, exactly. I met her back in Dead Rock. And she's waiting for my return, upon which my wealth will woo her. Mark my words, stranger. She will be wooed. But then he's not going to be doing any wooing because This fool has just got bones left, and he doesn't even notice. There's his little sternum here. Yes. This is my little rib cage real quick. Okay, then color in the negative space so that those white bones pop. There's that pesky word pop again. Such a nonsense word. Alright. Are we still functioning? Is this stream still happening? What's going on? Good to have everybody, by the way. I think I had too much coffee because my brain feels like a California raisin right about now. It's like all shrivelly and weird. We're gonna rock this damn place down. Woohoo! Down to the ground. Rise up, gather round, rock this place down to the ground. Burn it up. Let's go for broke. What's the matter? Go up and smoke. Rock on, rock on. Okay, so then there's like these kind of weird bones here, and then there's his shoulder bone, and then that's the end, and then we're just gonna let it end right there. We're just gonna let it end. Just look at this dude. I mean, you guys, seriously, can I get a witness on this? This is amazing. Yeah, I've just been down here perking here 35 years. My girlfriend will be wooed by my newfound fortune once this claim pans out. I just know there's gold down here. Just a matter of finding it somehow. Just been 30 years is all. Starting to get a little discouraged. To be absolutely honest with you, stranger, I do have my moments of discouragement now and again. It is not all unbridled optimism in this particular mind. You know, every once in a while I'll find myself just sitting in a corner just kind of weeping and whatnot. God, that's just sad. Oh my God, that makes it really sad. He's just like holding his knees, rocking back and forth somewhere down in the mine. That is so sad. He does have at least one fly buzzing up here. We're gonna rock this damn place down. Woohoo! Down to the ground. Yeah, exactly. Pyronide. That's it. He can't pass over because he's convinced he's going to find the gold someday. But he doesn't even know he's been dead for 30 years. He hasn't even noticed yet. Like, actually, the girlfriend back in town, she's probably been dead for 15 years. And then if he finds gold, yeah, then Old Man Munson. Yep. Yeah, I'd have to say this guy is the center point of every campaign that matters from now on. This is my guy right here. Like, it'd be cool if he was like your sort of quest giver, like your core NPC, and you kept returning to him. Maybe he's one of the few who knows about the supernatural war happening on Ghost Mountain because he's caught up in it. Sam Sarton. I don't know if I have room for a pick, William. I like to keep these cards clean and simple. And a pick would be really big relative to this image, so I'm just going to keep it clean. But I do appreciate the suggestion. Y'all know that. Oh my God, I love this character. He is the source of all history. Yeah, totally. Exactly. Not to, use hyperbole or exaggerate or anything, but yeah, his nose is still flesh, Brandon. He still has that nose. It did get smashed by some falling rocks, so it's a bit to one side there. But yeah, like one side of his face is kind of still a little bit of fleshy, and the other side a little more skeleton. I think that's part of the fun. These are just little bonus hairs. Because I'm just diddling. I think I'm about done with this particular drawing session. You guys, this is so fun. Drawing and taking you guys' cues and working together to create this set. It's just so stinking fun. It's just nope, there I broke my rule, so I got to leave that black. There we go. And that is it. That's a wrap for this morning. I'm going to call it good. Thanks everybody for tuning in. As far as like housekeeping, how about some housekeeping? You just bought Worlds. Hey, that's great, Sam. Thanks. Questions that are coming up. Probably the biggest one, obviously, is about 2nd edition Index Card RPG. Yes, it's true. You can't buy hard copies of ICRPG right now because that is all updating. The reason that I'm doing that is that I wanted 2nd edition to be on top of the current title. That gives my current readers and buyers a huge advantage, which is that you're going to get a free update and like the sales history and everything of ICRPG is going to be contained still in that same title. So I would like to think of that as the right thing to do, is that everybody who showed up in the beginning, those few thousand readers, they're all going to get the 2E PDF absolutely free with no purchase or effort needed. You'll get an email and it's just a single click and you can get your new PDF. But you will need to buy the hard copy, and I've kind of been asking all the readers from Google Plus to really show up and get that hard copy. This is a big moment for my survival as a company, is doing 2nd edition. 2nd edition I'm also going to try to get out on Lulu, Amazon, Kindle, and other places because I think it's ICRPG in its final form. And it's ready to go to a larger audience. So if any of you guys are fans of the game, this 2nd edition is really going to be the time to sound the Dwarven war horn and get this game out there to more eyes and to a wider audience. As far as YouTube goes and what's coming up, a few exciting things. I do have Progression Through Discovery is a video that's going to be coming hopefully next week. And then also, here's a fun one. Next week, I'm going to be interviewing Kelsey Dion, who is sort of an up-and-coming adventure designer who's received a lot of accolades on the Dungeon Masters Guild. And I'm going to be interviewing her here live on the channel on Wednesday evening and talking about what this experience is like to begin publishing your own work and to do a great job at it. And she, if you want to look at her up, her most well-known adventure, she has two that are really cool. One is The Fires of Isk, and the other one is Secrets of the Skyhorn Lighthouse, I believe it's called. And two of the most downloaded and most beloved adventures right now on the DM's Guild. So that's really cool. So she clearly has the magic. So I wanted to interview her and talk to her about what it's like and what she goes through and how she's accomplished all this and what that experience is like. Sam, yeah, those would be fun appearances, but haven't gotten that invite yet. Not sure why, but hey, whatever. It's all good. And then also we're going to be talking about Junked, so I'm going to let you guys in on my newest project as summer approaches. And so I'm doing all the crafting for that project, and that's going to be a print and play project for everybody. That's like a print and play board game that I'm doing. So look forward to that. And now that I have my awesome recording room all set up, I think just the videos are going to have a lot better sound and a lot better camera work and everything, thanks to you guys. Thanks to some of the donations that came in the end of last year too. I've upgraded some of my equipment, like I got a nice ring light, I got some better tripoding stuff, so everything is getting better around here thanks to you guys. As far as 2nd edition, it is currently in the mail, so all I need to do is wait for the mail. And when the mail gets here and I can proof it and make sure that I did all the files and the output right, then I'll hit the big green button and we're good to go. So that's probably about a week. I love the journal walkthroughs. Yeah, Pyronide, those take a tremendous amount of time to do all that. That's why those videos feel so dense, is that you're looking at almost a year's worth of work in, 20 minutes? So I can't really speed that up. But what I have been doing is using a Remarkable tablet rather than paper journals quite so much, so that more of my drawings get to you guys. And the way that they get there is through some of these streams here and also on Patreon. So as I'm posting the RPG Mainframe podcast on Patreon, they're going to be coming with like visual piece that goes with them, what we've been calling thinky sheets. So it's the sheets that I do to think out the podcast are now included with the post. So get $1 gets you everything on my Patreon, so that's pretty hard to beat. So hop on over and chuck a buck in the bucket. Team up with Dawnforge Cast. Dawnforge Cast is cool. I don't really team up per se with anyone in particular, but I'm always open to any kind of craziness. We'll see. Right now, the only real collaborations that I've done have been with Aaron Nelms over at Project Deadwood, with Pilly Pow or Blad Magic Craft, with DM Scotty, DMG, as well as all the guys from Roll for Effort, the ICRPG Oathsworn, and the Murder Hobo Show, which is the ICRPG podcast. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're just going to do more and more and more of it. So kind of feel like I'm coming back from a 2-month sort of disappearance. Now, that whole time I was publishing Worlds, I was doing 2E, I published Heroes of the Hammer, which is now available. Let me throw this up real quick if you guys didn't notice, but go here, runehammer.online, and that URL is where you can kind of link to a bunch of my stuff. So enjoy the stuff, everybody, and that is about it for me this morning. I got my day to do. It looks like the sun might even come out, which would be really weird and disorienting. But by golly, every once in a while it does actually come out. Hey Chris, what's up? Yeah, just go to patreon.com/Runehammer. That's where my podcast is, and then there's another one called Murder Hobo Show, which can be found on Podbean, and that is an ICRPG podcast. Videos going over classes, and so Rito Atlantis, once second edition is out, we'll definitely do a full video that is all about why it's even worth thinking about getting, and all of the things that have improved. So hey everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. Got a bunch of new cards done. ICRPG Volume 4 cards for Ghost Mountain should be done pretty soon. I think we're probably up into the high 50s or low 60s by now, so should be able to get it done. And thanks you guys for all showing up, and thanks for tossing a few bucks in the bucket. I always appreciate that. And get out there and make yourself a great weekend, will you? And I'll see you guys all next week, or maybe even before. Who knows? All right, happy Ishtar, everybody. Keep it real. Don't steal. You always get a deal. All right. Accutromoned. Where's all the accutromoned? I don't know what that means. Slante, yeah, take care, everybody. Get on out of here, and I'm going to go find some gold in this here mine. All right, so thanks, everybody, for the ideas, and have a great weekend. Do you want to meet me in a bar? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in a lounge? Yeah. Do you want to meet me in a club? Yeah. Do you want to meet me downtown? Uh-huh. Oh, my gosh. Something is wrong with me. Something is terribly, terribly wrong with me. Oh.